Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I want to shout out to Victoria and Curtis. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Today is a very special day because I am going to talk about the opening of the portal, which I believe is very ancient, in Chaco Canyon, New Mexico. So let me tell the story. All right, so first of all, I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm not from Albuquerque, but I was pretty much sent here 13 years ago to live, and I've been living here. Now, I took a channeling class, maybe 11, 12 years ago when I moved out here, and that's how I learned how to channel. At one point in time, my teacher told us that there was a sacred pyramid between Albuquerque, New Mexico, Sedona, Arizona, and Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Now, most people are familiar with Sedona because it is known to be a very spiritual place, and it is a mecca for spiritual tourism, and it's warranted because Sedona is amazing. They have huge red rocks there, just beautiful. And Pagosa Springs is also a very spiritual place, not as well known. However, it carries the deepest water, the deepest fresh water on the entire planet is in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. The hot springs come up and they're very, very hot. The mother spring there is very, very hot, but people go there to soak in the waters, but they may or may not realize that it's the deepest spring water in the world, okay? Now, Albuquerque is not known as a spiritual place. However, it is a spiritual place. And the reason I know this is because I had a client who was a Donna, which is a Navajo, and he was telling me when he came for his session, it was in person, one of the things that he told me was that Albuquerque was very, very special to his people, the Navajo. And I said, oh, you mean Santa Fe? Because Santa Fe is kind of known as being New Age and spiritual. And he goes, no, Albuquerque. And that his people, the ancients, were doing celebrations and rituals here thousands of years ago in preparation for something. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. So my channeling teacher, I didn't really ask her a lot about that sacred pyramid, and I think she wrote about it a little bit. I'll have to ask her about it. However, if you look at this pyramid, in the middle of this pyramid, well, a little bit closer to the New Mexican side, is Chaco Canyon. Chaco Canyon is a World Historical Site. I'm just going to check the volume, one moment. Yeah, good. Volume's good. And Chaco Canyon is a series of great houses or community that extended into Arizona, into Colorado, other parts of New Mexico. And the Anasazi, or basically the Anasazi are the ancestors of the Hopi, the Navajo, lived there. And it was a huge complex. I was just up there. I went to one great house, and I think they had, 22 kivas in one building. And the kivas are where the Anasazi would go down and do their rituals and basically communicate with their star elders, star people in the skies, in the cosmos, which tend to be Pleiadian a lot of the times. Many Native Americans are closely associated with the Seven Sisters and the Pleiadians. Anyhow, so Chaco Canyon is considered sacred by the Native Americans, okay? And it's a national park. So anyone can go there and visit and check it out. And I would suggest that you do that. It's an amazing place. I'd never been there before. All right, so I knew there was a sacred pyramid triangle in these parts of near where I live, but I never thought I would have anything to do with it. However, I got sent to Pagosa Springs to open the portal there, which means I'm used as a conduit. I'm a channel. I'm used as the conduit for the Lemurian Mother Goddess, who is my primary guide. And I went to Pagosa Springs on the auspicious date of 11/11, November 11th, 2021, to open the portal there. And I did that. And it was beautiful, and I felt it, and it was great. And I didn't record it. Okay. It was kind of, I was in the water, I was in the springs, and I opened the portal. And I was on my own. I went up there overnight and came back, and it was a long drive. Okay. So I did that. And at the same time that I was opening the Pagosa Springs portal, unbeknownst to me, my associate on the East Coast, who is an incredible healer and remover of dark energies, was sent to Sedona in the astral plane, and she opened the portal there. So Pagosa Springs and Sedona got opened on 11/11. Now, I never officially opened Albuquerque, and I need to check in with my friend on the East Coast to see if we need to do a ritual concerning that. But I feel like because I live here, it's open. I mean, I'm just being honest, but I need to check into that. So Pagosa Springs got open, Sedona got open, Albuquerque's probably opened, and I knew inherently that Chaco Canyon needed to get open, because Chaco Canyon is the centerpiece, the central hub, the main portal that these 3 points surround. Okay. Now, I want to say something. I don't get told by my guides like, hey, Donna Carol, go to Pagosa Springs and open that portal, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work like that for me. I get pulled places, like energetically, I'll get pulled somewhere, or I'll just know that I have to do something. I knew I had to go up there, and I knew it had to be 11/11, and I knew I had to open the portal. So it's a knowing inside of me that, my guidance is checking in with these other entities, but it's not like a one-on-one conversation. It's just a knowing or a feeling of what I have to do. And I don't do anything that I'm not supposed to do. I'm not into grandstanding, and I'm not into doing work that I have no business doing. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I know what I'm not supposed to do. So I just want to put that out there. So I knew I had to open Chaco Canyon, and the date came to me February 2nd, 2022. Now, this date is very auspicious, and it's very important. If you look at it numerologically, oh, hey, Angelique, how are you? I'm glad to see you. If you look at 2022 numerologically, it's actually 02022022. If you add all those numbers together, it comes up to 10. And if you break that down, it is a 1. And a 1 in numerology means new beginnings, new start, fresh start. So I knew it was an auspicious date. Also, my mother's birthday, my Earth Mother's birthday, was February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. She's on the other side, and she was a very spiritual being. And then my guru, the Adi Guru, which means founding guru of Sahaj Marg, now known as Heartfulness, was born on February 2nd, 1873. So I knew it was a very good date for me because of my connections to that date. So I was like, oh, I got to go up to Chaco Canyon. I'd never been there before. So I asked an associate here where I live if she wanted to go with me. And she did. And I was excited about that because it's a long drive. It's like 3.5 hours one way, 4 hours. So I didn't really want to go on my own. And it's a dirt road. There's no service there, no cell phone service. It's out in the middle of nowhere. So she decided she wanted to go, and she was really happy about it, and I was happy that she was wanting to go. We also invited 2 other associates of ours, more her friends than mine, and they were going to go as well. Okay. Before the trip, I mean, she had to clear her schedule to go, so I was very grateful that she was going to go with me on the 2nd. Also, because I later found out, had 4-wheel drive, which came in handy. So we planned our trip. We're going to go on the 2nd. We're going to get up early, go early, do our thing, and come back the same day. It's going to be a long day. So she went ahead. She's a shaman. She's an American shaman. She's trained in that tradition, which I felt very good about because, you know, this is Native American land. I knew I was supposed to be there, but I'm sure there's Native Americans and shamans that are like, what are you doing there? You know, whatever. But I knew I was supposed to go. So she checked in with her shamanic teacher. And she said, my friend's a channel and she wants to go to Chaco Canyon and open the portal. And what do you think about that? And the teacher was like, no way. This is not for dilettantes, and you shouldn't be going to Chaco Canyon and messing with the portals. There's been conflict there. There's some dark energy there. It's not a thing that that someone should mess with. You know, she got a very stern warning. And he said, an enlightened master should be the one to do that, right? So she told me this, and she said she didn't want to go because, you know, of what her teacher said. And I was like, well, you know, there's always opposition. There's always opposition to whatever I do, whenever I do it. I expect it. I expect the opposition to come in, okay? But she wanted to get my opinion on it, so I was like, I didn't have an opinion. My opinion was I'm getting sent there. I'm doing the work, you know? That's it. I don't have an opinion. I'm just doing the work. It wasn't like a big deal to me. Like, so we channeled about it. And the guides came through and they said very clearly that, yes, I was supposed to go there. I was supposed to do this work. And that there were certain dark entities that did not want this to go down, didn't want it to happen. And they were working through her teacher and speaking through her teacher. That happens all the time. Attachments, dark entities get into people and speak through them when they want to oppose something. And they said that she was supposed to go as well because she was supposed to facilitate the trip, make it happen, do the shamanic rituals, talk to the ancestors of the land, etc. So she changed her mind again and said, okay, I want to go. And I was really glad because I didn't want to go on my own, but I would have, you know, I would have gone on my own. So, I know I'm telling the story and it's kind of long, but I want you to get all the details because I don't want to leave anything out. It's very important to my guide, the Lemurian Mother Goddess, that we have full transparency in the new age of what's happening. And that's why I go on YouTube and tell you what I'm doing. Like, oh, I'm opening this portal, I'm opening that portal, I'm working with these entities, because there's been so much secrecy in the past. The Egyptian mystery schools, everything was very secretive in many, many traditions. And that is not how the new age is going to be approached. It's going to be transparent, as far as I can tell. So the 4 of us were going to go. But then it was like a few days before, and come to find out there's going to be a winter storm. We're going to get the coldest weather of the year, and we're going to get a winter storm on the 2nd and the 3rd. And I'm like, oh no, you know, are we going to be able to go? And I knew I was supposed to go on that date, however, you know, and I know other portals opened on the 2nd as well, the 2nd through the 22nd of February. So my friend still wanted to go, and I was like, great. And she goes, well, I'll drive because I have 4-wheel drive. And I said, great, let's just go. The other 2 people declined. They didn't really want to travel in that weather. It was cold, it was windy, and it was snowy. which I understand or understood at the time. However, they were going to support us in spirit, as well as my friend on the East Coast who opened the Sedona portal in November. Now, we brought offerings to the portal. So I went through my collection of stones and I intuitively picked out stones to offer to Chaco Canyon. My friend brought stones from her travels. She has been working on the grid for a long time. She goes to sacred mountains. She's got a sacred mountain here where she lives. She travels around the world and she collects stones from sacred mountains, just little stones, to work on the grid, to connect the grid, okay? And so did her friend. She's been doing grid work for years as well. So they donated some stones from, you know, places like the Grand Canyon, places like Yellowstone, Jackson Hole, you know, more and more than I just can't remember right now. But there were stones donated really from all over the world. I mean, I think even there was a stone from Tibet, not just United States, but all over the world. So, so it was just me and her, and we met at her house, and she did a prayer, an opening ceremony. She's a shaman, so she did this opening ceremony at her altar, at her home, and the other lady dropped off her stones, and we did a blessing and got ready to go. And we drove up to Chaco Canyon, and the trip went really, really fast. And there wasn't that much snow on the ground, but we made it. And believe it or not, there were other tourists there that day, like 2 or 3 others. And we went in and we watched a movie about Chaco Canyon, and it's an amazing place. The buildings themselves are just incredible. I was an architectural history major, so I found it fascinating, and I want to go back there when it's less cold and when I can walk better, because I have a problem with my foot right now. So we went to Chaco Canyon, and she picked out the spot where we were going to do our ceremony. And it was by a huge red boulder, and we made our offerings there as well. So she did an invocation and an opening of the ceremony and talked to the ancestors and really facilitated this whole exchange. And then I did my channeling of, I didn't know who was going to come in. I didn't even know who was going to come in, which guide it was, because I channel a lot of different beings, but it was actually the Lemurian Mother Goddess. She came in. Now, she was working on the portal, and Yeshua was working on the portal, different ends of the portal. And my friend on the East Coast, who opened the Sedona portal, was working with us remotely. And she said that the Lemurian Mother Goddess came down with her son Lucifer and was there in spirit. Remember that Lucifer connects everything in creation. So, and they're working together now. They're not in opposition. So she was there. And she said that, my friend said that she was working with Archangel Michael from her place. So there were a lot of beings involved in the opening of this portal, and many, many, many angels. And really what was happening is there must have been some dissension or some fighting over this portal. There must have been some dark entities trying to control it. I do not know the history, honestly. But from what I got told in the channeling that I did with my friend before we left, the guardian spirits of that portal were to be replaced with new guardian spirits who were angels, because the portal got open to the higher realms of consciousness. And so it went way up in dimensional frequency. And so there needed to be new angelic guardians in this space to keep the unwanted out, okay? And so those, and we channeled about this, and we were given permission to go by the guardian spirits. They were tired of guarding Chaco Canyon. They wanted it to go to the higher dimensions. they welcomed the help of the Lemurian Mother Goddess and the angels. So the portal got opened, and when the portal got opened, all of the stones that we brought, the portals on those different mountains and places all over the earth, got opened simultaneously. So it was a huge effort. Now, the lady that was going to go with us but decided not to, made an offering of stones. She was with us in meditation during the day, and she said that she saw when we were working, she saw an enormous Merkaba come down, descend from the higher realm, and then go back up. Now that must have been the Lemurian Mother Goddess, or it must have been the opening of the portal. She said it took up the whole width of the canyon. So the canyon was pretty big. There's cliffs on either side. So it was a huge operation. There's a huge amount of energy. So what I thought I would do, to be transparent, is to play the tape of the channeling that I did when the portal was open, so you can hear what went down for yourselves and understand that this is huge. And the reason it's huge is because I've never been sent to open portals before until last year. And I also know in my head that I need to go to Kauai at some point in Hawaii and open the portal on the island of Kauai to Lemuria. I don't know when, hopefully soon, but we're getting really close to the ascension. I mean, if I'm channeling these deities who are opening portals here, we're getting close. And I'm so ecstatic about it because I've been waiting forever. Like, I totally want to be on the new earth. I don't want to, be on the old earth anymore. So we're getting close. I'm hoping it's this year, but no one ever gives me a date. Maybe between the equinox and the solstice. That would be awesome. All I know is my guru said a long time ago that the window of opportunity, the window to go into the fifth for the ascension, well, he talked about earth changes and a pole shift, but it would be the first quarter of this century. So the end date on that would be January 1st, 2026, which is only 4 years away at the very distant point. However, I'm hoping that it's sooner than that, and I hope that it's this year, but I don't know for sure, honestly. I don't think anyone does. But we're not ascended yet. I'll tell you that. We're not in the fifth. Maybe some people are walking around in the fifth, but this planet as a whole is not in that reality yet. So without further ado, I am going to play the tape of me opening the portal, but I want to answer these questions. There's a couple questions. Kay's asking, so there's unwanted things from the higher realms. All I know is there's unwanted things in the third dimension. I guess there's been some infighting or fighting over the portal. Now, I don't know if these are guardian spirits or fourth dimensional astral beings. I don't really know the history. But the guardians of Chaco Canyon, I think they were Native American, and they were keeping beings out that didn't really have good intentions for the portal. You got to understand that this is a sacred energy portal on Earth. And right now we've opened it to the fifth dimension. It's open, but there's angel guardians there now. But eventually it's going to be a stargate. And you'll be able to go to Chaco Canyon and travel off-world. And I think that was the initial design, but I would have to channel that. I would have to channel information about that. To be honest, I don't know the full history. And that's what my friend's teacher was saying, spiritual teacher. He was saying, people have gone to Chaco Canyon before and tried to open this portal, priests and other beings, and they've gotten kicked out by the guardian spirits. And it's a powerful place. And when there are powerful places, people fight over them. You know, just like the Vatican is on a powerful spot of land, Washington, D.C., you know, they're on power points. And then the mountains are very, very sacred power points as well that haven't been tampered with too much. So I'm sorry I can't answer that question any better, but all I know is that people have tried to open the portal and delve in this area before. And my friend's teacher said I would never attempt to do that. You know, that's nothing that I would do. But you know, I knew I was supposed to do this. And if you know, you know. And it was done because the other lady saw the huge Merkaba come down very clearly. And after the portal was opened, after the ceremony was done, there was all of this light in the canyon. It was so beautiful. It was just like otherworldly. It had been gray and dark and dismal and snowy and windy. And after the ceremony, after the channeling, the light came out and it was amazing. So, So I am going to play this tape, and I want you to just kind of see what went on in Chaco Canyon. And this was February 2nd, 2022. I was aiming for 2:22 p.m., but we opened the portal a little bit later than that, but around that time. So here it goes. Today is February 2nd, 2022. Taryn and Donna Carol are at Chaco Canyon, and we brought crystals and stones from various places to Chaco Canyon to receive the ascension energy. Taryn has collected these stones from around the world, and she also brought stones and crystals from Solina, who also collected them from different places in the world. So right now, we are going to work with these crystals and stones and the energy of Chaco Canyon to help in the ascension efforts on this planet. So I would like to bring in the guides to speak to us today. I invoke the four archangels, Gabriel, Raphael, Ariel, Michael. I invoke thousands and thousands of warrior protection angels around Taryn, Donna Carol, and these crystals. I also invoke the guardians of Chaco Canyon, the protectors of this sacred space, to be with us here today. We also ask your permission to work with these crystals on this land. I invoke all angels who would like to be here, ascension angels, Stargate and portal angels, and also any benevolent star beings that would like to be here. We welcome you at this time. Lastly, I bring in Yeshua and the Lemurian Mother Goddess, and we ask them to oversee and overlight this channeling. Amen. Yes, we are here. This is the Lemurian Mother Goddess. And today we are going to work in a newly formed way to bring the ascension energies closer to Terra Nova, Gaia, or planet Earth, as it is called. We would like to ask the warrior protection angels and cleansing angels to come into this space and remove any remnants of any discordant or dark energies in Chaco Canyon. And we offer the places of rest in the celestial realms for all of these entities. So we ask that these entities come forward and leave Chaco Canyon at this time. We bring these souls peace, love, healing, understanding, and a chance for further evolution. Now we are going to bring in the original designers of this ascension portal, and we ask them to be present with us here today. And we ask you to witness the restoration of your beautiful design made for ascension of different entities into the higher realms of consciousness. When these portals are open on Earth, it affords humans and other life forms to have the ability to be multidimensional in a fully conscious, sentient state, which has been of late fragmented and compartmentalized. When these ascension portals are fully reopened, humans will become much more conscious. They will feel and see their connection to all of life. They will be living from their heart space, and they will be fully multidimensional and able to travel between dimensions. Lastly, the goal of reactivating the ascension portal here is to bring Chaco Canyon to connect it very viscerally, very tangibly with the higher dimensions, as it has not been connected in a very long time. So at this time, we ask the guardians of Chaco Canyon to give up their post to the angelic beings who will be standing in, as they will be the guardians. They will be looking over this portal, making sure that it is operating smoothly, and also making sure that the beings that access it are fully aware of what they're doing and able to get to the fifth dimension and beyond. Eventually, this portal will be used for interdimensional and intergalactic travel. It is going to be a portal to the fifth dimension now, but eventually it will be a stargate to other realms of consciousness in the future. We bring in the original designers, and we also set the angels at their posts. Coming in, they are going into the various buildings of Chaco Canyon and the sacred spaces. And they are doing a final cleanse on these areas and preparing them to receive the ascension energy. Okay. And so now we, as a collective, the Lemurian Mother Goddess is who is speaking, and my associates, we reinstate the portal of Chaco Canyon. We make it fully operable so that life forms may go from the third dimension into the fifth, and eventually into many other realms of consciousness. We are working with Yeshua, and we fully give life and reinstate this portal in real time. Amen. Ooh. Oh, wow. It got opened. Did you feel it? And now we bring in many angels from the higher dimensions, the celestial realms, going down into the fifth dimension and down into the third dimension, utilizing this portal, descending down and bringing higher frequency and higher codes of life into Chaco Canyon. We imbue this land with love, understanding, and spiritual evolution. And we pray for the full restoration of Mother Earth and all of her sacred points. And there are many thousands and thousands of portals upon Mother Earth. Some functioning, some not, and some semi-functioning. And now we reverse this flow, and the angels lift the earth energy all the way up to the fifth. And angels are posted there, and now we bring that energy into the celestial realms, fully, consciously. Okay. Energizing the portal. And now, with the crystals and stones that were brought as offerings, we consciously connect each of these lovely earth beings to the Chaco Canyon portal. Connect into the energy, feel it. Be blessed with it. Bathe in the energy. And now each of these stones and crystals that has been brought forth, we imbibe you, we deliver, we bring to you the Chaco Canyon energy into your bodies. Feel it in this land, in this ground. Absorb it. Absorb the ascension energy. Absorb the reawakened and reactivated portal. We bless you. And now we ask these stones to connect to their parents or their home stones, the place of origin where they came from. And we activate this land, these crystals, these stones with the energy of the Chaco Canyon newly awakened channel, newly awakened portal. And we bring higher consciousness to these places upon Pacha, Mama. The great mountains, the salt beds, even the rainforests are represented here. And now we breathe ascension energy into you, into your home origin, and we awaken you to the fifth and beyond, so that humans and other life forms can travel to these higher dimensions within your body, feeling safe and secure and protected. We offer angelic protection to all who would ask for it, and we station angels at every newly awakened portal on the planet. Please understand that this is a necessary part of the ascension journey, as humans will be accessing these portals, dematerializing and rematerializing in the higher dimensions when the time is right. All will be done in divine timing and order. We now awaken the triangle that Chaco Canyon sits in. Chaco Canyon is a sacred space in the southwest, in northwest New Mexico. It is activated. We fully connect it to the portal in Pagosa Springs, the portal in Albuquerque, and the portal in Sedona. We activate the divine triangle,
and we create a sacred space and a sacred field where life can ascend to higher realms of multidimensional consciousness. In the name of Prime Creator and all life in the multiverse, amen. We thank Mother Earth for her continued service to humanity and many life forms. We also thank Father Sky. We thank the sun. We thank the planets in your solar system, your galaxies, all life that has materialized in the third dimension in material form. We thank you for your service, and we await your return fully into the light realms. We bless you, we love you, and know that this portal is now working and fully functional. Amen. We will connect soon. This is the Lemurian Mother Goddess. Namaste.
All right, so that was the tape of the opening of the Chaco Canyon portal on February 2nd, 2022, and I play it in full transparency of my work on behalf of the Lemurian Mother Goddess. So I wish you all a wonderful week full of happy surprises and good experiences. Take care of yourselves, and I will be back next week with a new channeling. If you enjoyed this presentation, please go ahead and like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends, people that would understand this type of content. Love you all and wish you all very, very well. Namaste.